I was drinking the CrossFit Kool-Aid. I do think that at the end of the day, it is a system that is built for failure. And the reason is, in my opinion, is the lack of patience. Welcome back. Hopefully you guys are in a good place right now, whether it be early or late. It is a little bit early here. As you see by my bed head, I'm still just wearing some comfy clothes and getting into it today. That's how I do things over here. You're gonna get what you get. Just set up my office. Finally, got some good lighting in here. Got some whiteboards on the wall. I'm excited about this. I think the space that you work in needs to be a space you feel really comfortable in, creative in, and I didn't really have that for about a year. So I'm excited to see if that does help moving forward. More to come on that later. But the reason I'm here today is because I had a thought about fitness and training, which you know that I do a lot of. And I believe that the CrossFit class, the CrossFit affiliate is dying. I do. And this is something that I was a big part of for a long time. I helped grow New York City's largest CrossFit gym. We had one gym on year one, and on year 5, we had 6 different locations throughout Brooklyn and Manhattan. And it was very much so a major part of my life. I was drinking the CrossFit Kool-Aid. I do think that at the end of the day, it is a system that is built for failure. And the reason is, in my opinion, is the lack of patience. The world today is filled with such instant gratification and results. And there are a select few people that will see results. And I say select few, like there are probably a large percentage of people that will see results. But when it comes to the masses, I doubt that that will be very successful long-term because of the lack of patience in the process. And what I mean is you can see results quickly with CrossFit, but the truth is there are many movements inside of those 4 walls in the majority of locations with trainers who are not set up for success. And most people will walk out the doors before they begin to see the results that they want to see. And that disappoints me. Now, I'm also going to say, I love doing CrossFit. It's something that I do every single week. Really, with my S5 training, what you're going to get is a balance and strength, which is necessary, part of CrossFit, all right? Skill, so a lot of the gymnastics works and the skill-based, patient-based work we're going to get as well. We're going to do sculpting, which is hypertrophy training, which most gyms tend to avoid for whatever reason. Okay, sweat, which is going to be our metabolic conditioning, and stretching and mobility, which is going to be a balanced program that we like to consider ourselves a strength and conditioning program for longevity with purpose, simple, effective training versus going in and doing all of these CrossFit foundational classes and movements and having Metcons every day. We are similar, but the thing is with us, you understand that this is a progressive overload style training program. Progress over time is really important. And I don't think that gyms get that, right? If I were to open up a gym today, that would be the root of the gym, to be balanced in all of these different areas, which I understand CrossFit as a whole is trying to relay that message to the affiliates. The affiliates are supposed to be relaying that message to the members. But if you walk into a gym, most of the time, in my experience, I would see people chase that post-workout high, that sweat feeling, that fall on the floor and like, oh my God, we didn't get our heart rate up today, so I didn't get a workout in. Or I didn't do a 1 rep max today, so I didn't get a workout in. Or I didn't go heavier today, so I didn't get a workout in. And that could not be further from the truth. When you're training, it's not really exciting all the time. I'd be lucky if I got a PR in anything this year because I PR'd everything last year. And then as you get better and better, it's going to take longer and longer to see those things happen. And I just want to put that in your brain that you can still see progress without seeing the numbers change, right? Now, as a competitor, the goal was to be faster, be stronger, train harder, to win the competition. Last time I checked, most people going to an affiliate or doing my program are not trying to win the CrossFit Games, and they're not trying to go and stand on a bodybuilding stage. I wouldn't be the person to set you up with that. First person to say it. But if you're looking to feel better when you're not in the gym, get your training in only 60 minutes a day, and live a longer, healthier life, that's probably the majority of the people that we want to work with. And again, I understand that CrossFit is for people who want that. Now, the disconnect is that the message at the top is too big to help all of these affiliates where they get zero to little training on how to make that happen. You sit through a weekend course and then you get a certificate that says, here, you can go coach people. This person has zero coaching experience. And yes, I understand that most people start with zero coaching experience, but there's a difference between going through a training program and having the resources to put someone through a proper training program and actually going and training people just from on day one. You're setting people up for failure because you're setting the coaches up for failure. If you're setting the coaches up for failure, the members come in and they're like, oh, all I gotta do is sweat today. And that's why people resort to HIIT style CrossFit classes, or they don't show up on snatch day and they don't show up on pull-up day, and they're teaching they're not correcting and they're just cheerleaders walking around a room, or they're going in and they're learning something for 45 minutes and they do a 5-minute workout and that's what they feel like is important for the day, but you do that 3 times a week and that's what people aren't seeing results and they quit. The message is important. You showing up and giving whatever it is that you're doing with attention to your goal every single day, boring or not, falling on the floor after a workout or not, PR or not, which means personal record, personal best, showing up every single day until you get to where your end game is. That could be 20 pounds less, it could be 10 pounds more. It could be shaving 30 seconds off your mile time. It could be doing a strict pull-up. The truth is that when it comes to training, what are we training for is the question I like to ask my athletes. Like, what is it that you want to accomplish? If you do not tell me a performance goal, then we will not worry about a performance goal. But if you come to me 6 weeks later and you're saying that you don't feel like you're seeing performance change in the gym, I'm going to ask you, well, is your weight down? Do you look better naked? Do you feel better throughout the course of your day? Are you playing with your kids longer? When we set a goal, we work towards that goal instead of saying, I want to do one thing, and then 6 weeks later, you're like, oh, but I'm not doing this other thing. It's really important to get clear on why we're here. And that's why I believe having a balance in your training is important, because then we can shift the percentages, we can shift the rest, we can shift the rep scheme. We can shift which pieces of the program we pick for you to see results. Now, the programming that I write is not for everybody. I cannot help everybody with a blanket program for your goals. The programming that we put out is the programming that I do. I train 4 to 5 days a week with a strength bias program, progressive overload and hypertrophy, and I'll do about 3 metcons, which is metabolic conditioning. We call it sweat, a week. On my active recovery days, one day I'm going to run really slowly on purpose, and one day I'm going to walk. But at 37 years old, I don't need anything more than an hour a day to reach my goals aesthetically and performance-wise. And I think that the majority of the people that we help fall into that category. Actually, I know it. We don't help people that are going to the CrossFit Games. We don't help people that are going to be bodybuilders. I want you to feel better and more confident when you wake up, well rested, to go attack the workout so that when you accomplish something in that workout, you can go and focus on the rest of your day. So that's why when I see CrossFit promoting like CrossFit is on the rise and everything, like I think the bubble has burst and now they're just holding on for dear life to figure out what they can do to sustain, and they'll lean into the professional side of it, and that's a spectacle. And I think everybody should go watch a CrossFit documentary because it's super fun to watch these superhumans go and do these amazing workouts. There was a time where I thought, oh, I can do that. And now I look at that and I'm like, I'm good. I'm gonna scale that. I'm gonna have a really good workout doing it. That was a lifetime ago. So as you head into today and you're doing your training program, ask yourself, 1, what is the intention of today's training and how is that helping me get closer to my goals? 2, I think form is super important. Form always comes before intensity. Now we want to walk that line of pushing form, and we lean on this thing called RPE, the rate of perceived exertion. So instead of using percentages, because most of our clients come in at different times, I want you to think that if this is an 8 out of 10 effort, and a 10 effort is as much effort as you can give, this is only slightly less than that in a situation. If it's a 5 effort and a 10 is the most that you can give, it should not be as hard as you think it is. And if you focus on that as you go through the program week over week over week, and you're using the reps that we give you, and you're pushing at that same effort, and you're going to see progress over time. And last, we have the ability to focus on the moment. So being present in what it is that you're doing. So this thing that you look at between sets, put it off to the side. The clock is your best friend when you're training, whether it be during the movement and tempo, between sets, resting. The clock is going to keep you on track to get in and out, have the most efficient hour of your day, so that when you do wrap it up in a good time frame, you can move on with your day, getting to the next thing that you have, because you probably have a job or a family or someone else in your life, something else in your life that you need to get to. So I think the CrossFit methodology, while super sound, and I think that if taken seriously and coached properly with a patient's mindset, can be helpful for some people. The majority of people, yes, would benefit from that hour class a day. Yes, would benefit from proper coaching. But no, I do not think a general CrossFit class serves everybody's goals. And that if you are doing that, having additional work, accessory work, or maybe splitting your time between strength training and then conditioning is really important. But if you have a program that's balanced between strength training and conditioning, you're going to be able to see this progress for longevity while enjoying your energy and the way you look. So that's my 2 cents on CrossFit. I love it. I just don't think it's for everybody.